Okay, welcome everyone. We are about to get started with some Elite Dangerous, and it has been probably 6 months since I last did any streaming. I'm Jeff. I usually play retro games. I'm making an excuse for this time because I am very rusty, and this game is actually in a long series of games that date all the way back to the BBC Micro and the Acorn microcomputer back in the early 80s. I played it first on the Commodore 64, and the series is still going strong. It's a lot of fun. Tonight we are going to be doing some space exploration, so there will be no combat, no lasers. What we're going to be doing is exploring some uncharted solar systems, scanning some planets, finding out if there's anything interesting on them. This game is really interesting in that it is a one-to-one copy of our own galaxy. So there are actually the same number of stars in this game's galaxy as there are in our galaxy, as far as we know. It's all procedurally generated. If you are the first person to enter a solar system, you are literally the first person that's seeing those stars and planets that are there, if there is anything. It's really interesting. Lots of cool different planet types. I will show you that all shortly. Any other background you should know? Probably not. Uh, Again, I'm Jeff. I do Extra Life every year. You can see I've already got my fundraising total over here. Sorry. My fundraising total is 0 because I'm just getting started again. Extra Life Marathon for the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto will be in November. It's the first weekend in November. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and do some regular streaming, and hopefully you will be able to join me. So let's get started. We are going to get into the game. Okay. So we start wherever I was last, and I'll give you a little tour around. So this is my ship. It's called the Living Infinite. You get to name your spaceships. It's really cool. I'm using a head tracker device, so you can see I can actually look around my spaceship. I can see my feet and empty seats because no one is here with me. Give you a little view. Okay. So, free camera. Try and give you a good view of this. So this is my ship. I have it completely set up for exploration. It does not have any weapons. It has shields that are basically there to stop me from smashing myself when I try to land on different planets. But other than that, it is totally defenseless. It is a pure exploration ship. 90% of it is devoted to its engine, so I can do farther, faster than light jumps to other systems. It's pretty cool. You can actually see me in here if we zoom in. There I am. So you can get a sense of the scale of it. It's pretty big. It's what's called an Anaconda class ship, and I am quite fond of it. Already getting, I've been out for a while, and you can see that the paint is starting to weather with all the microparticles I'm running into. The longer you stay out, the more your paint job will chip and tear away. It's pretty cool when you get back after a long exploration voyage and you can see that your paint's pretty much 100% gone. It's kind of a badge of honor. All right. So we're sitting in a solar system, and there are a bunch of different ways we can look at the solar system. The simplest is just we've got a little location map in our navigation pane, which shows us everything of interest in the system and its distance from us. There are planets. Looks like there's more than one star in this system. Those little blue icons indicate planets / moons that I can actually land on if I wanted to. And I'll give you a view of what this system looks like. I've already arrived in this system in a previous game session and scanned everything, so we actually see everything that's here. So this is sort of the simple view that shows you everything in an easily understandable way, so you can see what orbits what in the system. You can zoom in on everything and get a little bit of info on it. You can see on the left-hand side there, those little blue semicircles around the planets mean those are things I can land on. There are all sorts of different planet types. You get money for exploration data when you turn it in. When I get back to a system that has actual people in it, there will be stations I can sell my exploration data at. So some planets, when you scan them, are worth more money than others, just because they're more useful to people. What else? Yeah, I can zoom right in here and get a good look at them. The other view, which is less useful but pretty cool, is the orrery view, where you can actually see the orbital dynamics of everything, which is really neat. You can actually see that everything is in its place. You can find some really wacky systems. So if you look at the info for different planets, you can actually see all these little stats about them, the orbital period and all that. That's all actually happening. So if you got something with a really short orbital period, you can actually watch it spin around the system before your eyes. It's pretty crazy. But like I said, the orrery view is not particularly useful. It's more interesting to sort of see how the system is actually laid out. You can zoom right in there. And it's also sometimes useful if you want to plan your zipping around the system when you're mapping planets in detail. But you don't always have to do that. So we're just going to switch to the regular map view. And we are going to go to our next jump. So there is faster than light travel in this game. You use something called a frame shift drive. I'm not exactly clear on the physics. Hey, Duke, how you doing? And we can make jumps. Depending on your engine size and the mass of your ship, you can reach different distances. Can actually look over here at my ship's info. Okay, so my ship has a jump range. Whoops. Where'd it go? There we go. Yes, it shifts your frame. It's a reference frame physics cheat thing. When you slow down to local travel, where you're only moving short distances and not like zipping across the solar system in a matter of minutes, it does use Newtonian physics. But when you're using super cruise or your frame shift to jump to another system, it ignores that because it would be very, very boring to use real physics. So as you can see, my ship's jump range is a little over 78 light years, is how far I can reach with it in one jump. So we'll go to the galaxy map now. You can see I'm here. Actually, I'm here at this blue one. My next zip is going to be a neutron star for a reason I'll explain when we get there. And I'll just switch to a realistic view here so you can see all the stars. The galaxy is big. All these little points of light are actual star systems we can go to. We'll keep zooming out. You can actually see where I am in the galaxy. Earth is somewhere over here with all these bookmarks I have. I'm kind of out on the outer arm of the galaxy in a sector that the game calls the Formadine Rift. And it's pretty off the beaten path, which is quite cool. It's a lot of chances to explore things that no one else has ever seen before. When you do that, not only do you get bragging rights, but your name actually gets put below the planets you discover for the first time. Yeah, it would be tough, Duke. It really would. So, like I said, I have plotted a course one jump away. You can see my thrusters moving. They are set to be bright pink because I think that's pretty fun. So my next jump is about 40 light years away. It is a system with a neutron star, and neutron stars are great and really valuable to map because they will actually you can boost your frame shift drive's performance with it, so that when I grab my fuel from the neutron star, I will actually be able on my next jump to travel about 4 times as far as I normally could in a single jump. So that's super useful. They're also really pretty. So here we go. We are going to another system. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So we are just about there. And here comes a neutron star. They are cool. So you really don't want to get too close to it. So you can see my codex updated. That just says I've never discovered one in the Formadine Rift sector. So the neutron star has these energetic jets that zip out the poles as it rotates. Hey, Arc Knight. Yeah, so I'm going to charge up my first exploratory jump here. But we got to do the thing we always do when we jump into a new system. We have to honk. And what the honk is it's a basic system scan that sees what's out there and how many of them there are. So we can see there are 7 bodies in the system worth scanning. So we go into what's called the full spectrum system scanner. And it looks like this. I've got this little crosshair where I can look around. And you can see the filtered spectral analysis there on the bottom. I'm zipping along the spectrum at the bottom because I actually have to tune it to the signals of what's in the system. And you can see we're detecting some high metal content worlds in this system. So now that I'm tuned to it, I can actually zip around the system and I can see that there's something over here. So that's how you discover a new planet or moon in the system. You can see if it's got any features in the upper right, what kind of resources are available on it. Yes, yes, there are deflector shields, but my paint still gets worn away, Amazon Warrior. I'll show you the outside of the ship in a bit. But over time, those microparticles, they do wear away at your paint at the very least. And there's some more. You can see there's a bit of a glow when there's something to be found there. And you don't have to let them resolve completely. You can just click on it and zoom right out if you want to be really quick about it. So we've got 7 different planets and moons in the system. We'll look at the system map, and you can see it's all plotted out now. So you've got the neutron star and an M-class star that are sort of orbiting each other, and you have a bunch of little planets that are orbiting the M-class. And none of them are terraformable, which means they are not worth me taking the time to scan, which is really good because you can see they're actually quite far out. They're about 12,500 light seconds from where I jumped into the system, which is 5 or 10 minutes of traveling, which we really don't want to do. We want to zip through and only get stuff that's actually useful. We'll look at the aura review so you can actually see what it looks like. We've got our neutron star here, and you've got our M-class star here. You zoom in on it, you can actually see all the little planets orbiting it. It's pretty cool. They do but it's not automated, Duke. The people who are actually developing the game, over time, they'll add new developments to systems that are getting colonized. Let me bring up the galaxy map again for you, since we have to do that soon. But if you look over here, is actually a little bit of, it's called Colonia. In game, the story reason is a space station that was frame shifting to go somewhere over here. Something screwed up and it ended up lost all the way over here. And there was a serious player-driven effort to go out and explore this area, to bring that station supplies, because what a station has available is dependent on what players actually trade with it. So they bulked up its economy, and the game developers decided they were going to develop this area out here and give it a storyline. So there's actually a whole bunch of inhabited worlds out there, which is away from what we call the bubble, which is over here where Earth and all the other colonized areas are. But we're over here, way away from everything. And it's valuable to find terraformable planets, but unless the developers decide there's a story reason, nothing really progresses on that front. So we are going to scoop from the energetic jets of this neutron star, and we're going to be very careful because we don't want to get into the exclusion zone. We don't want to get too close to that star for us to pull out easily. Oh, why would they bulk up its supplies? Because the more you trade with the station, the better its economy is. It's kind of like there's an economic simulator running under the hood. So here we go. We're scooping from this. It's warning us that it's actually really bad for us. Okay, we didn't quite get enough. That was a bad first scoop. Sorry, guys. I gotta spin back around and get some more. So this actually damages my drive, is what it does. But it makes me go a lot farther, so it's worth doing. But yeah, there's an economic sim under the hood of the game that's all driven by what players are trading with where. Here we go. We'll make another pass at it. You can see a neutron star is actually quite small. I'm going to slowly go into the jet. Slowly, we're going to try and slide in here. We want to kind of ride it up the cone. There we go. Okay, so we were almost there. So we're good. We're supercharged. So now, if we look at our ship's jump range, it's all the way up to over 313 light years, when it was about 78 before we did this. So that's pretty good for one jump. So now we have that jump range set up. We're going to go back to the galaxy map. And we are actually going to plan some exploration. And the way I do exploration is I'm going to bring up... Let me know if you can't see this. Oh, actually, I'll hide it for now because you can't see it. We're going to chart a path. I'm going to sort of follow the arm of the galaxy here. And we'll sort of go around the outside. So, we're going to filter it. Let's filter it on more interesting kinds of stars. Rarer kinds of stars. See if we can find anything. There's all sorts of these F-class stars. See what happens when those disappear. That's another neutron star, but that's very close, so we don't want to get that one yet. So you can see we've really reduced the number of visible stars to us on the map. That's a white dwarf down there. White dwarfs are incredibly dangerous. So we'll zip over here. This should only take a couple jumps. Yeah, 3 jumps. Okay, so now I'll bring this up again. So this is actually an outside tool here. This is not part of the game itself. I use a tool called Elite Dangerous Discovery. And ED Discovery is linked to a giant player-maintained database of all the star data in the game. You can't actually pull star data out of the game itself, but what players do is they run this program and it uploads their mapping data to this website, which all sorts of different tools like ED Discovery use. So I can actually see here, if you look, these are the nearest stars within 100 light years of me. You can see 2 of the systems I've actually visited before. 2 of them I have not visited before, but because they're in this list, I know that I don't want to visit them because someone has already been there. I want to go to star systems that are within this range that no one's ever been to. So, I have selected, my next jump is that one, and it's about 236 light years away. So I'm going to change the range here to 250, and I'm going to make sure this particular next stage is not on my route. I wish. So this is 236 light years away. So this next system is totally unmapped, which is great. It means we are going to be the first people to ever see it. So here we go. Yeah, a giant floating head full of guns. And away we go. And watch my little nearest map. When we drop into the new system, it'll update. Okay. So we are quite close to another neutron star. And there is literally nothing within 250 light years that anyone has ever visited before. So that's great. We are off the beaten path. Let's see if I can do a better scoop this time from the neutron star. Let's do it in one. It really pulls you around. There we go. See if I can get out now. Okay. Good job. Okay, now what's actually in this system? We've got 5 bodies to scan. Yes, they actually call it the neutron superhighway. And scanning new neutron stars that no one's seen before is incredibly valuable because you can get all these mapping tools and route planning tools, but they rely on that data that other players have submitted. So me doing this is very helpful because it added another neutron star to the map that other people can use when they're planning their routes. So again, we're just zipping around the system, looking for all these signals. They're all high metal content worlds.
System scan complete.
Okay, so let's look at this system. I'm going to go to the map view because it's much more useful. And you can see there's no name on this neutron star. So there's no in-game benefit from sharing it with the player database. There is an in-game benefit in that you can sell your exploration data at uh, stations when you dock at them. So when I get back to civilization, I can sell it for megabucks, all my exploration data. And actually, my name won't go on any of this that I've discovered until I sell the data. So the person who gets their name on a star or a planet that's being discovered is not the first person that discovers it. It's the first person who, one, scans it and then sells the data. But it's lots of money is basically what I get out of it. So none of these are terraformable. I'm not going to scan any of them in detail. All right. I'm going to zip to our next jump now, which is another neutron star. A little bit. Staking our claim. It's all about who makes it official first. And if I really screw up and I manage to get myself killed out here, so the neutron star is the only thing in this system. If I really screw up and I manage to get myself killed, that's bad news for me because all the data that I haven't sold yet is gone. So we're going to have to be careful here jumping through too many neutron stars in a row. The reason being, although I can supercharge my drive with the energetic cone from the neutron stars, I can't actually replenish my fuel with them. So if you look in the lower right of my heads-up display there, you can see my fuel. I'm a little over half full of fuel still. It can be, yeah. Definitely there are different government systems in the civilized areas, but money is definitely a big thing in the dark future. No. Uh, yeah, so that little blue line on my fuel meter, that's how much fuel I'm going to use in my next planned jump. Uh, fuel use is it's exponential. So I'm going about half my jump range, but if I were to go my full jump range on this jump, it would use a lot more than double the amount of fuel I'm doing right here. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that fuel level and make sure we stop at a star we can actually refuel at. Because my ship has a little scoop on the bottom that can grab particles from a star's corona and refuel myself with. All right, here we go. Another neutron star. And you can't see, but I also pull my throttle all the way down when I am about to arrive at a neutron star. I don't want to crash into it. Okay, there it is. What do we got here? So just 4. Looks like high metal content worlds. You'll notice, depending on the type of star, there will be different things in the system, which makes sense. That's kind of the way it works, since everything is made out of the stuff that stars puke out. Gonna keep looking for these other 2. Oh, there's one there. And there's one more right here. Nice blue glow because of the star in the system. Let's take a look at our system map, see if anything is worth scanning. Nothing is terraformable, so they are not worth visiting. So we are going to scoop from this neutron star, and then we're going to plan another route. This time a little bit more than 3 or 4 jumps. Carefully. There we go. I'll actually show you my frame shift drive. You can see it's actually down at 87% integrity because I keep doing this. Eventually, it's going to start getting unreliable, and it's going to start failing when I try and jump. So, what I have to do is repair it. I do have repair kits on my exploration ship called auto field maintenance units. You'll notice I have 2 of them. Even though everything about an exploration ship is about keeping your ship's mass down so that the engine can do its job, I have 2 because a auto field maintenance unit cannot repair itself. So if those get damaged, I've got 1 to repair the other. That is the plan here. These little tick boxes on the far left show what modules I actually have powered on right now. I keep things powered off if I don't need them on because that contributes to heat buildup, and you can fry yourself if you get too close to stuff. So I'm very, very careful. I don't need my shields on right now because no one's going to attack me and I'm not landing anywhere. But if we do decide to land somewhere, I will definitely... I'll just turn that off for you. If we do decide to land somewhere, I'll definitely turn the shields on. Okay. So again, we're just going to try and zip over this direction, and we're going to go a little farther this time and plot a route. Looks like there's actually quite a few neutron stars, which is really cool. Keep going. It's a neutron star. Where are the blue ones? Yeah, unfortunately, this is Jeff Does Retro in his N95 fit look. I miss the beard too. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, so we're going to aim for this neutron star here that's about 2,500 light years away. We will plot a route. And the game will actually plot a route for me that will ensure that I don't run out of fuel. You can see this stop right here is, that little symbol is telling me that's my last chance to refuel. So please do it before then. All right. So we're going to zip over here. 295 light years. That's a pretty good jump. That is about as far as I can possibly get in this ship. And it brought us to another neutron star. Okay, so when that happens, when there's more than one body in the system and I get it with the honk there instead of the detailed scan, it's because the only things in the system are other stars. And someone's actually been here before. You can see that first discovered. So that's what it'll look like when I turn my data for all those new ones that I found. Only, you know, with my name. go. We are scooping. I think we took too steep an angle. Gotta dive back in. That'll do it. Okay, and away we go. So this next system is a Class G star, which I can scoop fuel from. Yeah, on the way home maybe I will. It would be cool to see. And you know, if anyone watching plays this game and you see one with Invincible Spleen marked on it, please take a screenshot and show it to me, because I would love to see that. The odds are so infinitesimally small. So we are scooping fuel. And the way we do that is we stay outside of the exclusion zone, which is that yellow line, and we get as close as possible without frying ourselves. We want to try and stay below 70% heat level, because after that it's runaway and I can't actually dissipate it. So now I can pull away, and the star was the only thing in this system, so we are just going to go ahead and jump to the next system. My heat level is also on my radar there. You can see it in the top left of my radar, 53%. Using the frame shift drive will heat you up a lot, so you got to make sure you're not too close to a star when you do it. And we're going to scoop some fuel, top ourselves off. We got 13 different things to look at in this system. So we're going to get off the orbital plane so that the star itself doesn't block my view accidentally. I usually like to go until I get below 40% heat. That's usually far enough. So you can see we got a few things. So we're just going to zip around and look for them. Watch for those light spots. I have not seen it yet, but I hear very good things. Where are these things, folks? Should be a whole bunch. I hope they're not all behind the star there. Oh, here we go. Okay, we've got an icy body. You can see they actually make different sounds. So you'll learn to recognize them by the sounds they make. And icy bodies are just about the least valuable planet type there is. They're pretty useless to human industry. Pretty, though. What else have we got here? High metal content world. That's a cool one. I know exactly what you mean, Duke. Okay. So these are all around another star. not the primary star of the system. Take a look here. Yeah, so the primary star is the one that you always start off close to when you jump in. So these guys are all quite far away. You can see they're over 100,000 light seconds away. So even if they were terraformable, I wouldn't bother visiting them. On to the next system. Yeah, you just have to be patient, Duke. Yeah, how the game defines icy bodies though is planetoids that they're literally made of ices. So you're talking like some of the moons of Saturn and Jupiter kind of things. No mineral core or anything. Okay. There are definitely some icy, rocky bodies that you can find in this system. We'll actually look at surface temperature this time if you like. So we've got some high metal content worlds. Let's see. So this one, you can see this guy is actually only 96 light seconds from the primary star, which means, yeah, its surface temperature is 394 kelvins. That's hot. Or is it hot? What's 0 Celsius in kelvins? I know 0 kelvins is absolute zero, but I have a feeling 300 kelvins is pretty warm, but I could be wrong. This is 527 kelvins. Clearly, I'm not qualified to be a space explorer. Let's see if they're worth looking at closer. Okay, so too hot. None of them are terraformable. So let's move on. Okay, so this next system is a white dwarf. White dwarfs are incredibly dangerous. I can actually boost my frameshift drive off of them, but they have a much larger exclusion zone than neutron stars do, so it's really risky. I may avoid it. Still, they're cool. They're like neutron stars, only meaner. Yeah. That's a white dwarf. And that little noise was saying that this is the first white dwarf that I have discovered in this sector of the galaxy. We'll actually look at the codex now so you can see what that's about. So, go back. So here I am in the Formadine Rift. And the way this codex works is basically there's all the different types of planets, all the different types of stars, all the biological and geological things that you can possibly find. Uh, and it's a little scavenger hunt for you. So you can see I have confirmed 13 of the 26 types of things that can be found in the Formadine Rift. So I've got one of the 7 types of white dwarf stars now. So you can see, you know, reported locations if you want to go to... okay, so a player named Long Puke Jacquard reported a black hole at that location. Anyway, so the game gave us before anyone ever explored these reported bodies, and players have since explored them. But basically what you want to do is I found no O-type stars. It's saying that there's both O-type stars and O-type giants. It's giving me an example one. I could actually go to this one if I wanted, but it's more fun to find one that no one else has seen before. And basically you just want to go through and check off all the boxes. So I've got every F-type star that's been reported. No one's ever reported an L-type star, but I've confirmed one, which is pretty cool. Same with T-type. Or it's not that no one's reported them. It's that they didn't give us any indication it was to be found here. And there's records. So, you might get a record for discovering the oldest or the biggest or whatever. It's pretty cool. All the different planet types. Still need to find a rocky ice planet with an atmosphere that's not terraformable. A rocky ice planet with no atmosphere that's not terraformable. Anyway, it's a nice way to challenge yourself. There's also stuff that you can find when you land on planets. Just pretty neat. Anyway, when it makes that little ka-chink noise like a slot machine, that's because you've made a codex discovery. Alright, I need to get away from this thing because it's making me nervous. I don't play around with white dwarves. Yeah, more or less. Gotta hunt those achievements. Yeah, so I want to get far away from that freaking thing. Now we'll see what else is in the system. But basically, white dwarves are massive enough that they have a very large exclusion zone, which means it's easy to get too close to them and get your ship ripped up. Let's look at the system map. And that's cool. I discovered that white dwarf. No one's been here before. They're all icy worlds. Not worth visiting. So we are going to zip out. The next star is a neutron star, this says. Which is interesting because a lot of areas of the galaxy aren't particularly dense with neutron stars. This seems to be a pretty good area for them. Alright. In we go. Carefully, carefully. Like going on a shallow angle so you sort of ride the cone up. Ta-da! Okay. Put a little distance between us and that star. And now we'll see what's here. Oh, so we've got asteroids in this system. That's fun. Zoom in and see if we can find them. Rocky body. High metal content world. I really enjoy how the star that is lighting things up makes a difference in how the planets appear. So in neutron star systems, you get that cool blue glow on everything. Oh, what do we got here? Lots of stuff. All pretty far away. That B there, that is a secondary star in the system. Okay. So you don't actually have to scan the asteroid clusters to get a full system scan message, but I like to find them anyway. Anyway, there they are. And they kind of sound like popcorn, is what asteroids sound like. Let's look at the system map. So we got a couple things orbiting the neutron star. Lots of stuff orbiting the secondary star, which looks like it is... It's a Class L dwarf. So they're not quite stars. They're not doing that fusion thing. And nothing is worth scanning up close. So on we go to the next star. Which will be a Class F star, which is a white star. And we can scoop from Class Fs, so we'll refuel. You can actually jump farther when you're not full of fuel, because your mass is lower, but I would much rather play it safe. In fact, there is a player-run group called the Fuel Rats who help stranded players. So they have a website you can go to, and you say, I ran out of fuel in this star system, and they will say, sit tight, help is on the way, and they will come out and they will rescue you, and they'll give you some fuel. All player-run stuff. It's really cool. Okay, lots of stuff in this system. See all those signals on the spectrum? Let's see what we got. So we got a gas giant of some kind. That is a Class 1 gas giant. And gas giants usually have a bunch of other stuff floating around them. Yeah, honestly, I find it extremely relaxing. I love exploration in this game. If you just want to, like, zone out and relax, there are, yes. So, players have squadrons and such, and you can buy your own fleet carriers, which are like little stations that you can actually move from system to system. And there's all sorts of player political maneuvering. Because, as I said, there's sort of that system under the surface for the economic simulation. Players will, they'll support, their chosen communist systems, and they will try and cause problems in capitalist systems, and it will actually change how well those systems are doing, which is really fun. You can actually affect the, I was going to say world, but you can affect the galaxy if you coordinate well enough. What do we got here? Some kind of gas giant. That one's got a nice set of rings on it. Oh, what's floating around it? Rocky bodies. Zip. Zip. And I'm being super fast about this. I used to every single time let it resolve completely so I could see what it looked like. But I don't really do that anymore. I take a look at it on the map, and if it's really interesting, I'll go visit it in person. But when I'm doing the full spectrum scanner, I usually don't take a close look at anything unless it looks particularly interesting. If I find an Earth-like world, I definitely take a closer look. Like, that one's cool. I honestly am surprised you never do see Picard drinking tea on the bridge. Seems like there was a no food or beverages rule, I guess. Good rings on that one. That one's a cool yellow color. Oh, what was that? So that was a little codex discovery. We found well, let's see. A rocky ice planet with no atmosphere is what we confirmed. We can look. We can look. I may be able to land on it. Some planets are a pain to land on. Oh, so that is a gas giant with water-based life. So there will be microscopic life of some kind living in the atmosphere there. Life is not super common in this game, but it's not uncommon. There are no well, okay. So there are intelligent alien species. There's one we know that is extinct. So you're wondering if I can land on a planet like this, Duke. I don't know if I can. Uh, we will see. That would be pretty fun if we can get down there. Yeah, so there's one intelligent alien species that we know of that is extinct now. They're called Guardians. They lived kind of over here. And there's another one that is not extinct called Thargoids. And they are mean and they hate us, and we probably deserve it. I don't know. They don't really try to talk to us. Okay, so all these planets with the blue circles are planets we can land on. See if any of them are worth landing on. You cannot exterminate the microbes. It's a hands-off approach, I'm afraid, unless you're talking about Thargoids. And then you basically have to defend yourself. And I do not want to run into Thargoids with this particular ship. So nothing's terraformable. And it doesn't look like any of the really interesting ones we can land on. I think probably those ones they don't let you land on if they're like completely molten surfaces. But anyway, you can zoom right in on them. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So only the ones you can land on can you zoom in like that. All right, next system. It's only 11 light years away, so I'm going to guess that it's a neutron star. Yeah. Your route planner is trying to make you get to your destination in as few jumps as possible. So if it's giving you a really short jump like that, it's usually because it's a neutron star. Although that wouldn't have always been a short jump. The ship you start this game in can probably only jump about 12 or 13 light years. What do we got? Oh, we got lots of stuff in this system. Let's scoop and take a look. Again, the trick is you want to come in on a really shallow angle so you don't like cut across. You want to come up the cone. You get that really cool spiral view when you're doing it. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Right out the top. Perfect. Okay. Let's see what else is hanging around. We've got icy bodies. What else is there? Some sort of gas giant. Pretty cool. Bunch of big rocks. Although, as huge as this game is, solar systems are definitely way emptier than I'm pretty sure they are in real life. Our solar system has so much crap in it. Way more than like 20 different things floating around out there. Another big guy. With some ice cubes floating around. And you know, I don't think I've ever gone this long without finding at least one terraformable planet. So, sorry folks. Hopefully this system is better luck than we've had up until now.
System scan complete.
Let's take a look. I'm gonna guess nothing. Nothing terraformable. That's okay. On to the next system. And it's another white dwarf star. So I'm going to be very careful. When we jump in, take a look if you can see briefly. There will be that yellow exclusion zone around it. I've got my throttle all the way back, so it won't show it when I'm not moving. But as we first jump in, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, that right there. That circle all the way around the screen there, that's the area I have to avoid if I don't want to fall into that star. They are pretty though, aren't they? I'm just going to turn completely around to avoid this thing. They also really cook you when you're trying to scoop from their jets. They're just all around bad news. I do not care for white dwarfs. Oh, but it wants me to scoop from it. Crap. Alright. We're going to try it, folks. My next jump is a farther jump than I can make without scooping this thing. So, good luck to me. We're going to go back to that white dwarf. We're going to try and scoop from it without falling in. I'm a good pilot, though. You guys trust me. No, that doesn't look threatening at all, does it? Perfectly safe. God, I hate these things. I'm gonna cook myself. 65% heat, 67. Here we go. Let's see.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive.
Okay, let's get the heck out of here. Yeesh. I told you could trust me. Alright, what else is in this system? I'd be really embarrassed if I blew myself up. That'd be really bad. Only an hour into the stream. We've got a gas giant with some cool white rings. Got some little guys. What else have we got? More little icy guys. Got some high metal content stuff. It looks like over here, probably around the secondary star, so they're probably going to be far away. Not too far. I would go scan those if they turn out to be terraformable.
System scan complete.
We're going to see. All right. Not terraformable. Nothing interesting on any of these. All right. Let's replot our course to our next system.
Frameshift drive charging.
Which is a Class F star. And I don't need to worry about that. It's very unlikely that I will crash into that thing. It's a little bit like fishing, yeah. But there's also, I don't know, there's a satisfaction of mapping this stuff even if it isn't particularly valuable. Because like I said, the data does go up into the online database. But, you know, it's a good feeling when you find, like, an Earth-like world.
Fuel scoping. System scan.
Because they're so rare. So there's hardly anything here.
Complete.
So we can just jump to the next system.
Frameshift drive.
The other satisfaction is just the fact that I'm tagging all these places as we go. Okay, scooping time.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
A little farther away from that star. And see what we will see. Looks like mostly icy bodies. Which are almost never worth taking a close look at. It's a rock. Oh no, that's another icy body. Okay. Icy. What's this guy? This is a high metal content world. So is that. Got probably 2 more icy guys.
System scan complete.
Look at our system map. Do we have anything terraformable? We do. We have a single planet that is worth terraforming. Usually once you find one, they're in a band, right? The Goldilocks zone for that particular star. So I don't need to bother looking farther if the one after it is not terraformable. Anyway, you're now going to see what happens when I go and map the surface of this thing. So here we go. Now I could put us on autopilot, but I do not have my Super Cruise Assist computer turned on. So we are manually flying out to this thing. You can see its distance in light seconds as we get closer to it, and the estimated number of seconds until we reach it at our current speed. When I get down to about 7, I have to cut my throttle, because we will fly right past it if we keep going that far. Humans are not the only species. There is one extinct intelligent species that we found ruins telling us they've been here. And there are also something called Thargoids, who have spaceships that look like flowers. And they hate us and they try to kill us when they see us, or they just completely ignore us when they see us. There's no real in between. They don't try and talk to us. We don't know what their deal is. They seem to think that we are in their house and want to get rid of us when they do attack us. They tend to, they'll claim a system and then they'll kill everyone who's in it. They're not great. Anyway, there's that planet we're going to scan. And surface scanner mode is another mini game. So, we're going to launch probes down at this thing. And we're going to try and map the entire surface. If you look in the lower right corner there, above where it says planet side front view, we have an efficiency target. We want to try and get it in 6 probes or less. We want to completely map the surface. I have an extremely good surface scanner, so that's not an issue. But I'll explain what is actually happening here, what we're looking at. So, this little line that's extending from the middle of the planet, if I pull the trigger at any point along this line, that's sort of like where on the surface the probe is going to land. And this little dotted line here, yes, Duke, and maybe sometime when I get back to civilization, I will dust off my Thargoid, my anti-Thargoid attack ship, and we'll go hunting for some flowers. But yes, people have tried to fight back against the Thargoids. So as I was saying, the dotted line is if I fired the probe here, it would actually impact like literally that edge of the planet, and everything beyond it is behind my view of this like half of the globe. So again, if I shoot it past this, it'll arc around behind. Thanks for coming out, Amazon Warrior. Anyway, my basic strategy is I'm going to do one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these, and that will scan the entire thing. Because again, I have a really good surface scanner, and I have done this many, many, many times.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Ta-da!
Complete.
So now we can move on to the next system. And when someone comes to this system later, after we've turned in our data, it will actually say, not only was that planet first discovered by me, but it'll also say first scanned by me. And you get money for discovering it, and you get lots more money for scanning it. But only if it's a valuable planet type.
Fuel scoping.
Drink up.
Fuel scoping complete.
Okay, we're going to get down below the plane so that that star doesn't get in our way when we're scanning. Did I honk? I forget if I honked or not. Gonna honk again. 36. Okay. Let's see what we got. Similar distribution. Couple gas giants. That guy's cool. Rings are cool. If you have a ship that's set up for mining, you can go into them and mine the rings. Honestly, we could go visit the rings. Let's go visit the rings after this. It'll be fun. I'll try not to crash into any of them. What else have we got? Zoom, zoom, zoom. High metal content worlds. That's great. That guy looked like a shriveled up apple. Kind of. I've never played EVE Online, so I'm not entirely clear. It's more hands-on, is my understanding. So you're actually like you have to prospect the individual rocks, and you have to put charges on them and blow them apart and collect all the little bits with little drones that you send out to collect. It's kind of neat. I've done it a few times. It's not really my preferred way to play this game. I prefer the exploration and sometimes the combat. But you can certainly do it, and you can certainly make a ton of money doing it. But at the very least, we can go visit those rings so you can see them. As long as it's not too far away. I wasn't paying attention to the distance. As you can see, I have done this many, many times. That guy's cool. Two more. Where are they hiding? Both right next to each other.
System scan complete.
Okay, system map. Nothing terraformable there. Nothing terraformable there. Which planet are we visiting the rings of? Let's do this guy because he's closer. So we're going to zip out to him, and we're going to go visit the rings. And you'll watch that estimated arrival time change, because it estimates it based on your current speed, but you're almost always accelerating. Being close to a gravity well will impact how fast you can travel. So when you're near planets and stars, you can't go as fast. but it shouldn't take us too long to get out there. And you can see I've got all the orbital lines turned on in my heads-up display, but if I wanted to, I could actually turn those off and just have the targeting selectors on. But I find them helpful to sort of see how the system is laid out. So we're going pretty fast. If you look at the upper right of my radar, in the middle of the bottom, you can see we're going about 50 times the speed of light right now. I'll rotate so you can see it better. Yeah. Little less than 50 times. Now we're 50 times the speed of light. The frame shift drive. Otherwise, this would take quite a while. And again, the general rule is once we get down to an estimated 7 seconds away, I have to cut my throttle pretty hard. Otherwise, we'll just shoot past it. So cut it all the way down until it starts going up again. And now we can throttle back up. You can see that cut our speed more than in half. I want to get a little farther off this plane so that I can come in on the rings. No, it's not an Epstein drive. It's a break the rules of physics drive. So, can I scan this thing yet? Going too fast. So, we can actually scan this giant thing. Gonna take a while. Just gonna shoot a ton of probes at it. And we can actually scan the rings too, which will tell us where mineral deposits are.
Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%.
See if we can actually get this thing. It's not usually that useful to scan gas giants. They're not super valuable. But since we're here, so you see those orange spots are mineral hotspots. Not quite there, not quite there. My problem is I'm running into the rings as I'm doing this. Don't want to have to run around to the other side to scan. So hopefully we can get it up high enough, but almost there. I might just get impatient. Alright, let's go visit these rings. So you can see We've got the hot spots on the map now. What we'll do is just kind of dive in. I don't really need to go into the hot spot, but it does help to aim. Here we come. Pow. We're in the rings. Pretty cool. And yeah, if I was equipped for mining, I could grab useful things out of here. I'm not though, so I can just kind of fly around. Really, I should have my shields on. In fact, I am going to turn my shields on. Because there's lots of chunks of stuff flying around here. Come on, shields. Here they come. We'll actually divert some power to them. They recharge a little faster. Then we'll actually take a dive through. I don't want to go below the surface before my shields are up. Like I said, my shields are not great. They're literally just for protecting me from cracking myself like an egg when I try and land on something. Okay. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty. They're super thin, just like I think they are in real life. The rings we know about, at least. Probably denser than real ones. I just want to be very careful here. Even with the shields. But it's still pretty fun. So I'm just going to select the next jump on our list. Because I think we are about ready to go. We'll clear these rings. And get on our way. Oh, we're mass locked. So we're too close to all this heavy stuff to use our frame shift drive. So like I said, the frame shift drive is negatively affected by being near heavy things. So if you look at the lower right there, by landing gear and cargo scoop there, it just flipped off. So we're no longer mass locked. We can actually engage the frame shift drive. Our next stop is a neutron star. Cool view, though. Bam. Whoops. I've still got my surface scanner out instead of my honker. And pull up so that we are moving with the cone.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive.
Bam. Out the top. Now let's see what this system has in store for us. Not a lot from the look of it. The little signals on the spectrum, they'll be higher in amplitude if you've got a lot of stuff.
System scan.
That's it. Anything worth a close look? Nope. That might have some features on it. You can see the refining scan there on the left. So it has some geological features. I'm not going to bother with that. Not right now. On a more interesting planet, I might go do that. But you actually have to go land on the surface if you're going to check out the geological features. Fingers crossed we'll find something with biological features. Another neutron star, I think. Yep. Lots of them out in this area of space. It's really good. Means you can travel much more quickly. Carefully get in there.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Okay. See what we've got hanging around.
System scan complete.
Complete. Okay. Anything worth scanning? Not a thing. That's all right. Onward to
Frameshift drive charging.
a Class F star. And since we're nearing the end of the stream, if we find something interesting in this system, we'll try and land on the planet. Okay.
Fuel scoping.
Hopefully we'll find something interesting. There's 30 bodies in the system.
Fuel scoping complete.
All right. Get a little farther away from that guy. Okay. And I think we've either got a rocky ice world or an Earth-like world. I'm going to bet it's a rocky ice world, though. We'll see. I always notice when there's something in that area of the scanner. It's got potential to be something good. Okay, this guy's got a lot of moons. Moon, moon, moon. Nothing else there. So, keep spinning around. What have we got? Some sort of gas giant. Okay. And it's got moons. Something else here. There's still something. Another gas giant. Love how everything in this system is beige. High metal content. Some more metal-rich bodies. What else have we got? Okay, here's the moment of truth. I think it is a rocky ice world. Yep. Oh well. We haven't discovered one of those yet, so. Oh, and a water giant. That's a pretty rare type of giant planet, so. Good for our codex checklist. Got a bunch of them. 3 water giants. That's crazy. So, what have we got? Probably nothing worth terraforming. But I guess we can land on one of these. Let's do it. This guy's close. We're getting close. We'll scan him. And we will land. Switch to our surface scanner. Too fast, too fast. Go. And give it the quick scan. Then we'll decide where to land. The scan will tell us the locations of the interesting geological stuff.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Okay. So, Hopefully something in the sunlight. That should do it. Okay. We're going to try and get down there. Should be interesting. I haven't landed on a planet in a long time. Don't want to come in too steep. About to pass the point of no return. Once we get low enough, we'll start in on a glide slope. We're about 55 kilometers above the surface right now. Our geological point of interest is about 160 away. Okay, starting to sound like we're going to be gliding soon. Here we go. Smooth sailing. Alright, now we're under the power of our thrusters again. So we didn't quite get as close as I would have liked. Let me check. I don't even know what button I need to push for my landing gear. I don't have my voice controls activated for this session. Insert. Okay. Close. Getting close. About 1,200 meters high. Hopefully. Okay. I see stuff that's down there. It looks like geysers of some kind. Okay. So what I want to do, set myself down, and then I'll drive my moon buggy over to them to take a look. So, landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Seems to think this is a good spot. Not a bad landing. Yeah, the ship can land. Take a look. Ta-da! We did it. So as you can see, we do actually have a landing gear. We've set down on this planet that no one has ever been on before, which is pretty cool. So, I have to actually power up my vehicle hangar so I can drop a little moon buggy out. And let's see. Here we go.
Drive assist on.
Pow. Here we go. Moon buggy. You can certainly die in the buggy on the surface. Driving off a cliff is usually bad. And stuff can shoot at you too, if you're in alien runes. Yeah, so I see some stuff with white clouds and I see some stuff with red clouds. We want to try and scan both of those things. Looks like don't have my modules set up, my fire groups. Okay, so
Handbrake is on.
oh, I got the handbrake on. That'll do it. Okay, well, what did I push to turn it on? You can tell I don't do this often. Controls. I want to know what my turret controls are too. Driving, targeting, driving, drive assist. Handbrake, what did I push? X is handbrake, that makes sense. Driving turret controls. Toggle the turret is U, that's the one I want.
Assist on.
Okay. So we can scan this. This actually lets us do it a little better. Do not have my module on. Alright. What do we got? Yeah, so we can shoot at stuff. Incorrect cockpit mode. Can we not scan that? Looks like it should be something we can scan. Probably too far away. There we go. We were just too far away. So we found a silicate magma lava spout. Wow. Cool. I was wondering why it wasn't working. We were just too far away. Let's find one of these white guys. You can also pick up resources on the surface. These are crystalline fragments. I have to pick them up. I believe I have to shoot them. Yeah. And then I have to take out my cargo scoop. And it's zinc. Yeah, so I picked up some zinc. Alright, let's take a scan of this thing. That looks promising. Probably don't want to get too close to that. Let's scan it. That is also a silicate magma lava spout. They could all be the same thing. Oh, we got needle crystals over here. Pretty exciting. Alright. We got ruthenium. Come here. Scooped. Anyway, you can have a lot of fun with the moon buggy. And these resources I'm picking up are actually pretty useful for what we're doing out here. They are used for repair materials. You can use them to get boosts for your drive. There's some rare materials that you can enhance your drive without going to a neutron star. Right, what else do we got? Doesn't look like anything else too interesting here. We might have scanned and picked up everything we've got. Oh, looks like there's a resource of some kind over here. Crystalline cluster. Let's go pick it up. So we gotta blast it to get it free. And it's tungsten. Nice. Actually, it looks like there's all sorts of stuff. So this is something you can do if you're like really out exploring for a long time. It's useful to grab these resources because it can keep you out a lot longer than you could otherwise stay out. Oh, I'm missing it. What do we got? What do we got? It's nickel. Oh wait, it's not nickel. Did I miss it somehow? No, it's nickel. Pick it up. Oh, that's why. Sorry. I have as much nickel as I can possibly carry. Goodbye, nickel. Don't need you anymore. Okay. Yeah, some marshmallows would be good, Duke. What we got germanium. All right. So not only are we sightseeing, but we are picking up souvenirs. This is good. What is that? Ruthenium. Am I actually hitting that thing? Probably not. Gotta get to the other side of it. There we go. It's germanium. And now I have as much germanium as I can store. Let's go back to the ship. Because this stream is at an end. The moon buggy is pretty fun to drive around, though. This planet is pretty boring, but you can really get some air on it if you've got a rockier, hillier planet. Okay, so what we have to do is get directly under this little scoop here. Oh, I got it. Okay, I should be in just about the right spot. We will see if we can get sucked up. Yep, here we go. Okay, we moon buggied home. So, we are just about ready to go. Everything's secure. I'm going to power down my vehicle hangar, because I do not need it. Start up my thrusters. Up we go. Okay. We are going to get out of here. Okay. We are going to escape from this planet. Oh, we have to align with the escape vector. Yeah. Here we go. $90 degrees, straight up. We are 50 kilometers up. 100 kilometers up. 200. 300. 500. And we are free. We are in space. Okay. So that was pretty cool. Actually get a look. Yeah. Zoom. Pretty cool. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. Like I said, I have not streamed in 6 months, so this was a lot of fun to do again. I will see about getting back to retro games probably next time. I don't know if I'm going to continue with Elite, but at the very least, I'm going to try and get doing some retro games regularly again. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to play, but it should be a lot of fun. Extra Life is once again in only 6 months. I took 6 months off of streaming after doing my big 24-hour marathon, and now I've got 6 months to get into the swing of things and do some fundraising before doing it all over again. I hope everyone can join me for that. It should be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun exploring tonight with everyone, and I hope you all have a great evening. I will catch you next time.